Welcome Monday morning.
So today is something called National Hot Cross Bun Day. And so
We don't eat hot cross buns.
I'm going to read the description of the hot cross buns since I have it on my phone. And it says, a hot cross bun is a spiced sweet bun made with currants and or raisins. No, it's just
I forgot to put raisins.
But chocolate chips are better anyway.
I didn't put chocolate chips in there.
And
Wow.
marked with a cross made of icing on the top. It is traditionally eaten on Good Friday. Today is Good Monday, apparently.
Yep, it's
Happy
Good Monday
Monday.
today.
So this is our hot cross bun. Lindy, show them your hot cross bun that you made.
Yeah, that white blob. I tried making this one recipe that is a one serving.
Easy thing. And so it's just like,
It didn't roll. So you know how you're supposed to roll it and then it goes into a spiral and you cook it and whatever. That didn't happen. So I just kind of scooped it together and squeezed it so that it was all enclosed and stuff. And that's how my cooking usually goes.
But it seems nice and crumbly. So
it's still going to taste good because it has cinnamon and brown sugar on it. How can you go wrong?
So that's our hot cross bun. I didn't succeed very well in making a frosting that could really make a proper X on it. There's one. It just, you can't tell. And so we grew up eating cinnamon rolls, and that is what we are going to probably be spending more of the time speaking about, at least while we're talking about cinnamon rolls or hot cross buns. So yeah, we're gonna taste it because I haven't tasted it, and
yeah, hopefully it's good since I've never tried this recipe. I don't really try recipes, honestly.
I think it's really good.
I'm not much of a.
She's a good cook when she tries.
I tend to screw things up when I try and make food.
She likes to eat though.
Oh yeah, I love eating. It's awesome,
and it actually is really good. You don't think
kind of doughy,
but it works. It's good.
And then we have these other frozen ones that we got in the frozen section at the grocery store, and you just warm them up. And obviously, they're much prettier than mine. Yeah, it's good. Actually, I'm surprised at myself.
So it's not pretty, but it's functional. Not all food has to be beautiful in order to taste good. So Lindy,
it's gluten-free, for one thing. Maybe that's why mine wouldn't roll. Sorry, I dropped the fork.
So, tell us a story, a happy story about cinnamon rolls for you.
So, I had this extra class in high school before
German?
School started. No,
not German.
And I had to wake up at 5:30 every morning and then leave at 6:05. I got everything ready the night before so I could wake up the last possible moment.
This is really good.
And then
I made the frosting. My frosting is also.
And then I would go to this class.
Really good.
It started at 6:10 or 6:15 or something, and then school started at 7:30. So then after the class, I would drive to the school. So one time I remember my mom was like, I'm making cinnamon rolls in the morning. And I was like, what? I don't get any. I was so disappointed. So she made them, got up before me, and then put them in the oven so that by the time I woke up, they would be done. And they were slightly undercooked, but I was on my way to this class when it was dark outside. And I'm like, my mom's so awesome. She made me cinnamon rolls. I was so excited. It was beyond amazing. My mom's incredible.
See, and here's the thing. She may not. I probably ate more than my fair share. I don't care. So
she's unapologetic.
I am. She made it, but I ate it. And this is milk, not because it's National Milk Day or anything, but just because I really like milk, and it goes really well with cinnamon rolls. or hot cross buns, as you like. And so I remember my mom waking up early to cook cinnamon rolls more often than she does. And I don't know if it's just because I'm 2 years older than her or what.
It's also because we're gluten free now, and I don't know if she knows. Oh, I thought you meant, okay, never mind. I misunderstood.
No, so when we were in, what is it, junior high?
I don't know.
It was high school. You do too? No. When did you have your early morning class? In
All through high school.
Yeah, not junior high.
Okay, great.
So, I remember her waking up early to, like, she would let the dough rise and everything like that the night before, and then she would put them in the pan and have them all ready to go, and then to be put in the oven in the morning, and she would put them in the oven early so that we could take them with us to school. And she did that actually on occasion, not like all the time, not weekly or anything like that, but once in a while. And also, once we found out that we had a gluten sensitivity, so we're not like celiac or anything like that. It just makes us not feel, our tummies don't feel amazing. And so, well, these are pretty good too, by the way, now that I've tasted them. I should have, actually let you know that I was eating them, but they're really good. We looked, and it has yeast in it, which she has a little bit of a sensitivity to as well. Anyway, so when we found out that we had a gluten sensitivity, I tried to make but like we didn't know that she had a yeast sensitivity at the time. So I tried making cinnamon rolls without any gluten in it, without any wheat flour. And this was when it wasn't a thing.
I'm starting to remember this story.
It wasn't a thing that people were gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant or celiac. And so
I discovered I was gluten sensitive before it was cool.
Not just cool, like it was common. It
right,
was uncommon.
There wasn't nearly the amount of gluten-free stuff that there is.
It wasn't cool. So I was trying to figure out how to make, like, there wasn't all these recipes online where it was just like, 50 different ways to make gluten-free cinnamon rolls. No, there was none of that. So I was trying to follow the one recipe I actually did find, and my goodness, it was tough. I spent like hours on these stupid cinnamon rolls and these gluten-free cinnamon rolls, but I put yeast in it, so it didn't end up rising anyway. And I put in a special flour, and I ground it up myself and everything like that. And then they were really good. But now it's just like, oh yeah, it's so easy to find 50 different gluten-free recipes online.
Well, that recipe that I made actually wasn't gluten-free, but I know enough now, 9, 10, 8 years later.
Well, it says flour. It just says flour, so it doesn't say what kind of flour.
Right, so I used a flour blend that is just gluten-free. It's like, rice flour, tapioca starch, I don't know, something. Mm-hmm. But I know how to make stuff like a blend of flour that is pretty consistently matches regular flour. So anyway,
a relative to tapioca, I also really love, boba.
I can't remember how those cinnamon rolls turned out. Were they good? Okay. I think I remember it, maybe. Anyway, so
I made a whole pan.
Another interesting...
But they had yeast in them, which still makes her sick.
Another interesting thing about today is it's National Make Your Bed Day or something. Mm-hmm. And I don't make my bed except when I wash the sheets every 1 or 2 weeks or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It just depends.
So here's my story about making my bed. So we're going to have pictures of our made beds. We're going to make beds for Make Your Bed Day. So here.
This is Thasia's bed.
Mm-hmm.
Her made bed that's never made any other time. Mm-hmm. And then here's mine that I never make, and it just has sheets on it, and then sometimes I throw on like a throw blanket, and I don't really
it's starting to get a little bit chilly, so right now it has like a turquoise quilt on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have a story about not making my bed. So when I went into the military, I got to boot camp, and they did not have fitted sheets because they want you to make your own fittings on your sheets.
That's
And
outrageous.
you have to strip down. They call it a rack or a bunk. I think they call it a bunk in most other military organizations, but they call it a rack in the Navy. And so they make you strip it down and completely make it back up in 10 minutes. And I'm one of those people where I have a steel trap for a brain. I remember pretty much everything I learned, but the catch to it is that it takes me a little bit longer to learn stuff. So when I was learning how to make my bed, I wanted to do it perfectly because that's how I am. And so I wanted to learn how to do a good job. And so it took me a little bit longer than everybody else to learn how to make my bed. But once I started making my bed well, then I became like the fastest person at making my bunk. And so they say that you have to make 45-degree angles on your fitted portion of your sheet. And so I got to where mine was perfect and I could do it in way less than like 6 minutes or 5. And so they started putting me with the people that had the hardest time with their bunks, and then I had to help them so that we were within the regulations of how fast we had to make our bunks at boot camp. So then when I actually got into the fleet and on an actual ship and everything like that, I did the 45-degree angles on this, like our mattresses were about this thick, and it was like my living quarters. So everybody's just like, oh, the military, they make so much money or whatever, and they don't have anything to spend it on. Yeah, we don't, because we have a 6 by 2.5 by 2.5 foot of space. And so that's why I felt like a giant. I thought I was like one of the tallest girls in the entire world the whole time I was in the military, and it was just because nobody could be above 6 foot, and I'm 5'10". So I have this bunk and I make it with the sheet, 45-degree angles and everything on this little teeny section that I actually can because the mattress is only so thick. And then they have like one of those felt. Is it felt? The itchy.
I don't know, like burlap.
No, the itchy blankets that
I know,
are
I'm
military
just making
issued.
that up, but it's still.
I don't think they're that bad. Lindy doesn't like them, but I don't think they're honestly that bad. And so I made up my bed, and then basically we were allowed to have one folded sleeping bag or blanket on top of that. And so basically what I would do is I had one sleeping bag, and I would unfold it every night, and then I would open it up, crawl in, and then I would go to sleep. And then when I woke up in the morning, I would fold it in half and then fold it again. And that was me making my bed. So I cheated my way through making my bed in the military. And now I'm all like, I had to make my bed, gone through that whole period of my life. I'm good. I don't need to make my bed right now. So I don't really make my bed. But yeah, so those bunks are not, you're sleeping on an aircraft carrier, and basically they call them coffin racks. Ugh. So you're pretty much sleeping in a coffin.
Tell us your fun experiences about making your bed, or about making your kid's bed, because I know my kids try to help me make their bed, and it's quite fun. Or
last thing that I wanted to talk about is that today is also National Service and Remembrance Day, and or it's this weekend. Sometimes I mix things up, and I'm like, it's on the weekend, but I still want to do it, so. Happy National Day of Service and Remembrance, whatever day it may be on today, yesterday, or Saturday, and especially the people that are serving in Texas and in Florida and all those places that are going through a natural disaster right now. God bless you all, and we'll keep you in our prayers, and for all of the servicemen and women out there as well. So
yes, thank you for watching.
And may adventures be in your cards.